Hello and welcome to the next episode of Dissection of the Fantasy Team. And spoiler alert, it's a fantasy team. Midnight, I projected to finish in first place last year. Instead, he let me down and finished in fourth. He was 15 and a half games out of first place, mainly because his offense wasn't quite as good as I thought it would be. His pitching staff has always been superb, and that is what's carried his staff. Now, is it much different than it was before? It's tough to say. There's a couple different factors in, so let's begin the dissection. Okay, I got deuces right here, sleepers. First guy, Michael Brantley. Michael Brantley's projections, I'm seeing 283, 10 home runs, 65 RBIs, 15 steals. I think he's a tick above all of those. I think he can hit 15 to 20 home runs. I think he can get 15 to 20 stolen bases. He's still a 280 hitter. I'm good. I'm cool with that. I mean, if he gets closer to the 28 range, both in the home runs and the steals, that's a legit fantasy outfielder, and I think he's better than most people think. The other guy I like is Brett Gardner. Now you might say, well, Brett Gardner's not a sleeper. He's on everybody's radar. Well, not really. I mean, he's like 188th ranked. I think he's better than that. Girardi's batting him 7th, so I think he's actually going to steal more bases in the 7th slot, trying to get into scoring position so that the 8-9 guys can get a single here and there and drive them in. So my two sleepers are Gardner and Brantley. Bust. My bust is Jose DL. Okay, Jose Reyes, already on the DL, first day of the season. Big shocker, right? I mean, he just never can stay on the field. He's great when he plays, but he just doesn't play enough. And my other guy, yes, he is injury prone, but Cole Crawford, I think he might actually end up being the 4th outfielder. I know that's ridiculous talk, but when Kemp comes back, I don't think it's just a slam dunk that Ethier is the odd guy out. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it might end up being Crawford, and I think that's why, because of the 4 outfielder situation, that Crawford could be a bust just because he's going to be that other guy that's getting benched a lot. Because, I mean, let's face it, Puig and Kemp aren't getting benched. You know what I mean? So, those are my busts. Bustalia. Bustaruski. No fantasy for you. No, none. I think some people just get excited because it's a St. Louis Cardinal. And apparently every St. Louis Cardinal hits 300 or if they don't hit 300, they hit 25 homers or something. Okay, Colton Wong, I'm not seeing it. I mean, even the projections doesn't match the numbers. Like, it'll be like he's going to be the 164th ranked fantasy player at 272, 6 homers, and 31 RBIs, and 16 steals. How in God's name is that? I mean, I don't see how in the world those numbers correlate to how high he's being drafted places. So he's not even fantasy relevant. You can do so much better on a free agent list than him on your team. And then the other guy I got, Adam LaRoche, is a guy that'll just drive you nuts. He will have a week where he'll hit 4 home runs and 10 RBIs, and you think he's awesome, and then he goes the next week and he gets 1 hit all week long. And I mean, but when it's all said and done, the guy hits like 250 and 25 homers and maybe like 80 RBIs, and you think, that's not really that bad. That's a guy I should have on my fantasy team. But he does it in such a streaky way that he will absolutely kill you if you're not playing him at the right times. So those are my guys, LaRoche and Wong. Get off your fantasy team.
10 questions with Sean.
Number 10. I
I'm sorry. I'm very upset and distraught. I thought I was going to do a movie. I actually did a trailer. I was prepared. It was going to be my big comeback. I'm 83 years old, man. How much more time do you think I have? And you... Gosh. Number 10. Can One Last Midnight, which should have been a goddamn movie, can One Last Midnight withstand the injuries for Jose Reyes and, who's the other guy? Wilson Ramos. Like, I give it.
No, Sean, there is no movie. But the good news for One Last Midnight is that Brian McCann is probably your starting catcher anyway, so Wilson Ramos would probably be the second option there. So's it is, so he can wait for 8 weeks for him to come back. And, Jose Reyes, who knows when he'll come back, but you got Alexei Ramirez, who's actually a very underrated shortstop because he's a 2020 guy. And how many guys can do that at short? Not many. So,
Number 9. Will Jason Hayward have a comeback season?
probably. I think the reason why he was so rough last year was his injuries. So, I mean, the lineup's still sort of iffy. But I think I think he won't do what he did 2 years ago, but he'll be a lot better than he was last year.
Number 8. Are you concerned about Clayton Kershaw?
Yeah. It's going to be 2 to 3 weeks until he's evaluated. That doesn't mean that it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks before he comes off the DL. I mean, this guy could literally miss a month or two, and that could definitely hurt this team.
Number 7. Do you think Matt Harvey will have a comeback this season after Tommy John surgery? Little known fact, there's actually a surgery named after me to give everyone a Scottish accent. It's called the Sean Connery. It's not very popular for whatever reason, but yes, the Sean Connery surgery will make you sound like me. Very sexy.
You are so weird. No, Matt Harvey will not be fantasy relevant this year. He might come back to make a couple starts, but I kind of doubt it. I think, unless there's some sort of, unless worlds move and stuff collides, there's no way the Mets are going to be contending, and that's the only possible way I could see Matt Harvey being, brought back into pitch. So, no, I think you're going to have to wait until next year to get anything out of Matt Harvey.
Number 6, will Brian McCann have his best fantasy season ever as a New York Yankee?
Yeah, he's got a Yankee Stadium swing. So, I mean, there's an outside chance he hits 30 bombs. I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I think he could really do it.
Number 5, what do you think of One Last Midnight's bullpen?
Other than Soriano, he kind of has the all-crappy team closers group, which isn't necessarily that bad. I mean, okay, before I have Oriole fans jumping down my throat, maybe the Orioles aren't crappy per se, but I'm not sure Tommy Hunter has that job set in stone. I think he could blow 2 out of 4 saves, and then they start looking elsewhere. So, but yeah, you've got Tommy Hunter, Soriano, Cishek, which I know people are already jumping on the Marlins bandwagon because they won the first series. Oh my gosh! But I mean, LaTroy Hawkins is like 62 years old, so I don't even think Hawkins is going to keep that job all year. And Nate Jones is technically not the closer because it's right now Lindstrom, but I heard something on the radio about Lindstrom about how his delivery is too fast and it's speeding up everybody's bats, which sounds really stupid to me, but apparently they don't think Lindstrom's a great closer. So I think Nate Jones will eventually get into that. So yeah, the actual bullpen, I'm just going to go average. That's a lot of talking just for average. I apologize for that.
Movie question time. Number 4. What was your favorite movie that I was in?
The Rock.
The Rock, that no talent knocked my camera down. Are you serious? The Rock, that no talent hack. Are you? I have a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and if I don't, I should. Damn it! And The Rock. Who cares about that? I'm 83 years old. I'm a legendary actor. I'm talking about my movies.
Dude, not The Rock, The Rock. The movie, The Rock. Nicolas Cage, Ed Harris, and yourself. Come on.
Yes, that is an acceptable answer. Color me embarrassed at this point. So number 3, what are the standouts of the One Last Midnight's offense.
One Last Midnight's got a cast of characters, that is for sure. He's got guys who won MVPs, even though I don't think they should have won MVPs, and Pedroia and McCutcheon. I mean, they're both definitely, top 20 fantasy players, but I think both years that they won their MVPs, it should have been somebody else. But that's neither here nor there. They're still great fantasy players. And then you come up with, One Last Midnight had the greatest offseason ever for Texas once Chu got traded. And, well, I guess he didn't get traded. He got signed as a free agent. And Fielder got traded to Texas. Those guys, Chu could have his best offensive year in that lineup. Fielder will have one of his best offensive years hitting in that ballpark. And, you got four guys there that, you can't even... And, Ryan Zimmerman, also another top 30 guy. But, as long as Matt Williams learns how to make a lineup, you can't have Ryan Zimmerman batting second. That's ridiculous.
Yes, Sabermetric says that the number 2 batter is the best batter in your lineup. Duh, don't you know anything?
Your turn yet, wait.
Number 2, do you think anyone can match this team's pitching staff?
In this league, the way that it is, yes, some people can, because I think they're deeper. He's got Cy Young. It's Kershaw, Price, Verlander, King Felix, okay? Right there, that's pretty ridiculous. Now, obviously, Kershaw could be on the DL for a month or two, and that's a big deal. But the actual rest of it, A.J. Burnett, I still don't like in Philly. And Moore is so up and down. I think he's going to be a stud eventually, but I don't think you can buy into him being lights out yet. He'd definitely be the 5th best pitcher on that staff. It is a good staff. I know he just picked up John Lackey. I'm sorry, I can't buy into Lackey. I know Lackey had a great year last year, but he's too up and down for me to be excited about. I think there's other staffs in this league that are longer. I don't think there's a more intense, top 4, but there's definitely deeper staffs than One Last Midnight.
The number one question that everybody needs to know, why aren't we making the movie, man? The movie. It should be all about the movie. I was a villain, and gosh, I'm so good as a villain. I never get a chance to be a villain. I'm always the good guy. I can understand why I'm the good guy, but that's not the point. Yeah.
You're gonna have to get over this movie, Sean. Right now, you are my minion. You ask me questions because I tell you to. Anyway, let's see if Ira's in a better mood than last week. I know he's in a hurry to say something because he already, most rudely interrupted when I was talking earlier.
Ira's Island.
Hello, everybody, and this is Ira Vlog with Ira's Island! Oh, dude, whoa. Take it down a notch. Why are you so happy? Because I dumped my girlfriend, and I am all alone. Yes, free at last! Oh, God almighty, free at last! Yes. Yeah, anyway, yeah. Okay, I'm glad that's working out for you. Just do your spiel, and that's all we need, okay? Okay, here's the deal. Here's the situation. One Last Midnight, number 1 team. Best team in this league. You've already talked about the MVPs that he has, okay? McCutcheon, Pedroia, and Fielder, oh my, they are fantastic. That is a great lineup. You keep saying very good. It's not very good. It's great. It's upper echelon offense. You're missing the point as usual. And, okay, the pitching staff, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Cy Young. Come on. Who cares if Kershaw's really out for a month or two? It doesn't matter because you've got Price, you've got Verlander, you've got King Felix. It doesn't matter. That pitching staff's the best, and I know he finished in 4th last year. I don't care. Last year was last year. This year, One Last Midnight means one more regular season championship. So yes, okay. Here we go. This is Ira Blog for Ira's Island signing off. That's right. First time I got it right. What do you think about that? Yep, I'm moving up in the world. Pretty soon, YouTube celebrity. I'll be doing reality shows on TV. Watch out, because Ira's coming and he's going to be in all your living rooms. Oh yeah. Good job out of you, Ira. I knew that you could do it. That said, I can't drink the One Last Midnight Kool-Aid. His pitching's very good, just not deep enough. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, yeah, the studs are great, but if one goes down, aka Kershaw, it could be debilitating. How do you like that word? And the offense is very good, but I just don't think he's on paper does not match up to the top 3 teams for various reasons that you will find out coming up next. I have to give a hint or a tidbit, a snippet as to who it is. Let's just say this commissioner is Mr. Yuck. Oh, see you later, bye.